It's here, what to watch during the early signing period. Welcome to the first ever early signing period for college football recruiting. If you don't know what to expect, that's okay. Neither did the college coaches going through it, and neither did the high school prospects doing the signing. This is new to all of us. But to get you ready, the least we can do is preview a few of the most compelling stories to keep an eye out for over the course of the next 72 hours. Who's number one? According to the 247 Sports Composite Team Recruiting Rankings, Ohio State has the number one class in the country as the early signing period begins. Will it finish with the number one class at the end of the early signing period? If they don't, the Buckeyes gives up their spot as the odds-on favorite to land the number one class in February. There are some candidates to put together furious finishes in January that would challenge the Buckeyes for the number one class, but only one team looks like it has the juice to top Ohio State during the early signing period, and that's the Georgia Bulldogs. Ohio State is in danger of losing safety Jayden Woodbey and quarterback Emory Jones from its commit list on Wednesday, and it's in a dogfight for uncommitted number one offensive tackle Jackson Carman. Meanwhile, Georgia, sitting at number 3 in the rankings at the start of the week, could close with five-star names like Cade Mays, Jamari Salyer and Brenton Cox. Assuming Justin Fields signs with Georgia as expected and there are no other surprise decommitments on Wednesday from someone like running back James Cook, a Georgia close with those three prospects would give it 300.42 points in the team rankings. Related, Mays one of 4 to announce December 20th on ESPNU. Meanwhile, if Woodbey and Jones decommit from Ohio State and it misses on Carman but is still able to flip Cameron Brown from Nebraska, the Buckeyes would close the signing period with 300.37 points in the team rankings. That would give Georgia a .05-point lead heading into January. If you throw in David Wilson, another Georgia target, that could extend the Kirby's lead to a whopping 2.08 points. Early signing period closers: Georgia is expected to close strong, but if it doesn't, Clemson will be the reason why. The Tigers have a shot at landing Mays, Salyer, Carman and five-star defensive end KJ Henry. At one point, the Tigers were looking like favorites to land all four. As Wednesday has drawn nearer, only Henry remained as a likely signee, but Dabo's staff has kept battling for all four. If Clemson were to somehow score a sweep in that group, it would push the Tigers from number 15 in the rankings to all the way up into the top 3 depending on what else happens. The other school that's impacting all of these scenarios is USC. The Trojans are currently sitting inconspicuously at number 36 in the rankings, but they've put together a realistic opportunity to land Carman, following a strong official visit weekend. Flip Jayden Woodbey from Ohio State, flip 4-star Abdul Malik McClain from UCLA, and land 4-star cornerback Julius Ervin. With that kind of close, USC would likely finish the day inside the top 10. Decisions of note: in addition to the decisions above that feature Carman, Mays, Salyer and Woodbey, there are some commitments coming over the next 72 hours that have left plenty of people guessing. The number one wide receiver in the country, Terrace Marshall, has been long favored to land with the in-state LSU Tigers. However, Jimbo Fisher's arrival at Texas A&M has complicated things, and suddenly we've got some drama brewing with his Friday decision. Emory Jones may be committed to Ohio State, but no one expects him to end up in Columbus anymore. Instead, this is shaping up to be a Florida State battle. He took official visits to both over the weekend, and for a pair of new head coaches that are soon to be battling regularly on the recruiting trail, we'll get our first indicator of who is the new big kid on the block between Willie Taggart and Dan Mullen in this tussle. Texas is hoping to add to its loaded secondary with the commitment of Anthony Cook, the number 5 cornerback in the country. LSU is hoping to spoil that party. While Brenton Cox may be part of Georgia's furious December close, he also may spark Alabama's run at number 1. If he does choose the Tide, he'd likely be joining Obianuma, a 5-star defensive end expected to sign with Nick Saban. Penn State also has 2 big decisions it will be tracking. The first out of 5-star defender Micah Parsons, who likely picks the Nittany Lions despite an official visit over the weekend to Georgia. The second is from wide receiver Jahan Dotson, another Pennsylvania native that is currently committed to UCLA.